I'm telling them that I can't breathe. Clearly he don't give a damn about my plea. His ancestors used to hang us on trees. Today they identify as road police. You see I'm black, for that I'm a threat to America. My rise is their fall and their fall is evident. Blood on your hands is heavier than an elephant. Open up America's closet and see skeletons.
Welcome to my channel. I'm the 20th and this is Reignite Sandy Speaks. Again, welcome family. Today we're going to talk about Brittany Watts. If you guys haven't heard about Brittany Watts is a black woman in Ohio. I think she's approximately 33 years old. And Brittany Watts experienced complications with a pregnancy. Her baby had an issue. I think there was issues with bleeding, and her water broke early, is what my understanding is, if I'm saying this properly. Brittany Watts had an issue with her pregnancy about 21 weeks. And she went to the hospital multiple times. The doctor confirmed that this wasn't a viable pregnancy, that the baby was not going to live. My understanding is that she went to the hospital on September the 19th, the 20th, and the 22nd. And throughout those visits, they were aware that the baby had passed away inside her. Okay. What I believe is that they needed to, I think they're calling it induct the baby. I mean, I guess take the baby or perform a abortion, but there was some concerns about the ethics of inducing the labor or something. I guess inducting means to induce labor in the baby, and the baby is born as a stillborn. And at any rate, this hospital did not do that. Again, she went to the doctors, to the hospital on the 19th of September, the 20th of September, and the 22nd. And I believe on the 19th is when they told her that there wasn't very little of any amniotic fluid, which means that the baby wasn't viable. The baby wasn't going to live. That the baby died inside her. She went home. She had the miscarriage, and she had the miscarriage inside the toilet. You know what, you guys, let me go ahead and put the video in. Instead of me telling you about it, let me put the video in so you get a better understanding, and I'm assuming you probably already heard about this. So I'm going to put it in.
Brittany Watts overcome with emotion after learning her case is moving forward. Watts is charged with felony abuse of a corpse, accused of trying to plunge a toilet after having a miscarriage delivery at 22 weeks while using the restroom.
She said she felt the baby come out and there was a big splash.
Investigators say they found a baby stuck in a toilet at Watts' home on September 22nd. Forensic pathologist Dr. George Sturbins testified an autopsy found no injury to the fetus and that the unborn baby had died before passing through the birth canal. He says Watts' medical records showed she visited the hospital twice before the delivery.
This fetus was going to be non-viable. Okay. And it was going to be non-viable because she had premature ruptured membranes. Her water had broken early, and the fetus was too young to be delivered.
Both the assistant prosecutor and Watts' attorney argued why this case should or should not move forward.
The issue isn't how the child died, when the child died. It's the fact that the baby was put into a toilet large enough to clog up the toilet, left in that toilet, and she went on her day.
This 33-year-old girl with no criminal record is demonized for something that goes on every day.
Judge Terry Ivanchek found probable cause to bind the case over.
There are better scholars than I am to determine the exact legal status of this fetus, corpse, body, birthing tissue, whatever it is. Matter of fact, I'm assuming that's what most of these if she wins all of that, at what point something becomes viable.
In Warren, Nadine Grimley, WKBN 27 First News.
So yes, she's being charged. And so, let me just get to the point. This is a Black woman. And, I want to say this nicely. I want to say this fairly. I want to be judicious about this. But there's nothing I can do or say to even try to downplay what's happening. This is about a Black woman. This is a Black woman who's being treated unfairly, who had something unfortunate, tragic happen to her that happens every day in this country. And because she's a Black woman, she's not being treated fairly. So again, what happened is that she had an unviable pregnancy. And I think that happens. I think babies, my understanding is babies that women, they miscarry. And it's like the body's way of correcting itself, meaning that there was going to be an issue with the pregnancy. So instead of having the pregnancy, I hope I'm saying this right, I'm not a doctor, but my understanding, when you miscarry, that means that it's the body's way of rejecting the pregnancy because there's going to be an issue with the pregnancy or the birth or the baby. Okay? But at any rate, miscarriages happen all the time. And the baby died inside her. She's being charged with doing something to a fetus. So she's being charged with abuse of a corpse. Okay, so this is the issues that I have with this. First of all, the prosecutor says that she had a baby in the toilet, left it there, or she tried to plunge it, and then went on with her day. And these are the issues that I have, and I want you guys to be very clear about what I'm saying as we move forward. Notice these patterns, how Black people are constantly negatively framed. This woman went to the hospital multiple times. The baby had passed while it was still in her uterus, and the hospital mulls over the idea of, I guess, inducing the labor. That's what the induction means, inducing the labor and taking care of the baby at the hospital, knowing that the baby had already passed away. So they're going back and forth. And what I want you guys to think about is this is a young mom. We see no husband, no man. It's just her. She's pregnant. And as a mom, when you first find you're pregnant, you get excited. You think about the baby. You imagine the baby as the baby comes, what the baby's going to look at as the baby going to grow older. You already have a bond to this baby with just an idea, okay? And, as we move on with these Reunite Sandy Speaks, what I want you to always consider is the mental health aspect of this. Because the greatest harm done to Black people is the mental anguish that we suffer, that we're always put in very stressful situations that is a detriment to our psyche. So please understand, she was pregnant, her baby died. She had an unfortunate, unviable pregnancy. She did everything what a reasonable person would do. She went to the hospital on three separate occasions. And again, what I want you to bear in mind, how what's going on with her. The issue that I'm going to continue to stress is that we're not equal in this country. That there is a conscious and unconscious effort to cause us mental anguish, to cause us harm. I can't see any other reasoning behind this. When we have laws to ensure that as American citizens that we're protected. And that's what these laws are for. To charge her with abuse of a corpse. And if you listen to the judge, what's this judge's name? The judge, he says he references the baby, the fetus, the tissue in multiple ways. So we're talking about prosecuting a 33-year-old woman who lost her baby at 21 weeks. And you want to put additional stress on this child, on this woman. And what is the purpose? When we have laws and we punish American citizens who break the law or causes disruption or harm to society. This did not cause harm to anyone but herself. She lost her baby. And I can't believe that we continue to have these conversations about how we as a people are being harmed. Family, this is going to continue. And it's not going to stop until we stand up and we make efforts to stop these occurrences. We are only as strong as our weakest link. Our fate is linked. What happens to her happens to us. And my position is she's intentionally being harmed. I mean, let's talk about it. If you don't agree with me, if you think this is about the law or doing something to protect society, what is the protection? She lost her baby. And instead of them taking care of, because my position is that she should have a lawsuit against the hospital because they didn't do what was reasonable and sound and ethical. They sent a woman home with a dead baby inside of her. Then they had the audacity to charge. Let me tell you what happened. She goes back to the hospital after she has the baby, and I guess she tried to plunge the baby because the baby stopped up the toilet. I mean, can we please, men and women, black and non-black people, put ourselves in this woman's position? She's pregnant. You excited about the pregnancy? Then you start having bleeding and your water breaks. You're afraid, you're scared. But you're dealing with it. You're like, okay, I lost my baby. I'm dealing with it. It hurts. But let me do what I need to do. You go to the hospital multiple times. And as a black woman, let me just, see, I don't like saying this because we're even made to feel guilty by speaking up for ourselves. I consciously don't want to say, oh, it's because she's a black woman. But I know it's because she's a black woman. And it's going to continue to happen to black people until black people stand up. There are other non-black people who care about our rights, our well-being. But the truth of the matter is, these things are going to continue until we, as a people, make it stop. Till we, as a people, call out what's happening. I want to tell you, okay, so I'm going to put this guy on my website. You guys, I'm struggling with all these websites. Y'all know I'm struggling. But I have a website called Remove Judge Lawrence Riff from the Bench. And I'm going to use that website to monitor Judge Lawrence Riff and other judges who appear to work in against black people, that make orders or judgments that do not appear to be in the best interest of citizens, or because you understand, these laws and rules is to protect us as a community. And that's what laws are for. But there's nothing being harmed here. The baby already died inside her. And what I think is most egregious is that we are putting this woman through this trauma. The word is trauma. Family, we are being put through trauma. And it might be, maybe as the people we're confronted with so much trauma consistently that we shy away from it, that we don't want to talk about it, that we block it out because we feel like we can't do anything about it. But we can, family. We have to get together and we have to make a conscious effort to make these things end, make them stop. This judge's name is Judge Terry Ivanchek. Judge Terry Ivanchek had no basis for the ruling. What was the basis? I mean, we have laws, and the laws are to protect us or prevent us from doing things that are unethical or harmful to others. The only one being harmed here is this woman. And it's my position that this is intentional. Let me say this to you guys. There's a lot going on in my mind, and you guys know I'm a victim of hate crimes by the state of California. And I'm currently dealing with depression, and I have a horrible anxiety disorder. I kind of want to laugh about it, but I got like a fucking horrible anxiety disorder. When I get this anxiety, I'm just feeling in my stomach. I start breathing. I do all this stuff. So I'm trying my best, like, how am I going to handle this? How do I make this go away? And I am literally struggling to function. And what it makes me think and believe is what other Black person is going through what I'm going through. Unfairly and unjustly. This happened back in September. I'm not sure when the charges were or when she went to court, but family, we can't continue to allow this to happen. I want to talk about. I took some notes on this, and so what I want to say. Let me see, you guys. Give me a minute. And I know it's been a long day, and I'm supposed to do this like 3 weeks ago. I struggle daily, and this is one of the reasons why I'm here. That I am struggling to function because of anti-Black hate crimes against me. And again, if you haven't been to my channel, if you're new here, my goal is to create legislation to protect Black people. To do an amendment to do an update to the 14th Amendment, to where we are protected, and that the protection is very explicit, that is not open to interpretation, that when it is obvious that we as a people, Black Americans, are not being treated equal in situations that other non-Black people are treated more leniently, or not even charged, or it's an obvious compare contrast that we are being treated differently. And I get choked up, and I rant because I can't make heads or tails of it. What I don't understand, because I have really good self-esteem, is why would anybody just want to hurt us because we're Black people? Like, what is going on with so many people in our country that harbors ill will for us? That we are really moving away from being humane. Do you guys understand what this child is going through? She lost her baby. She went to the hospital multiple times. Everyone at the hospital knew that the baby had passed away. They did not follow procedure or what would be reasonable is to say, this is a hospital, we provide medical care, the baby has passed, we need to go ahead and remove the baby so the mother won't suffer any mental or physical harm. My understanding is that she lost her water broke, so there was no amniotic fluid, and the issue with her not having none or too little amniotic fluid, it posed a threat to her health as well. So, family, do you understand what I'm saying when I talk to you guys? I know you're like 20th. This is being Black America. We know this. What you're saying, we know. And we see these cases over and over and over again. So what are we going to do? Are things getting better or things getting worse? From what I'm standing, they're getting worse. They're getting worse. And we need to start really highlighting the people in power, in government, who are party to this. I mean, as Black people, first of all, let me tell you how I want to explain and describe or explain. Again, I struggle myself with recalling words because I'm under so much stress and anxiety from this anti-Blackness in California. But this is happening to Brittany Watts. We as Black women watch and see and view this, what's happening consciously and unconsciously to us, that we think, oh my God, look what happened to her. It's only natural that we would put ourselves in her position and think, oh, that could happen to us. So we are constantly confronted with stress. And then we live in a capitalist society, which means that we have to compete amongst each other, which I don't have a problem with. But we struggle competing because we are always consistently confronted with some sort of anti-Blackness that impedes on our psyche, on our well-being, on our liberties. And, I'm always very mindful of how I show up. And to white people, I don't want to offend you. If you're a white person and you, to some degree, are offended by the words that I'm saying, I care about how I show up for everyone. I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable or feel worthless or feel just in a negative way. So what I would ask of you is to put yourself in this position. If you're a man and your wife was pregnant and she lost her baby, your baby died within your wife, and then she has the baby in the toilet, the baby gets stuck in the toilet, which is crazy, like the baby went in the toilet and got stuck. What was she supposed to do? What would a reasonable person do? I am unhappy. I want to use the word livid because we as a community, as a country, have the audacity to put a human being under such pressure. And stress for what? Laws are created and made to protect us, to ensure we have our civil liberties, that we don't impede on other people, that people aren't harmed. Only person being harmed here is Brittany Watts. I got some notes, you guys, and I want to say this. So what does he say? I took notes here and maybe I misplaced them, you guys. I'm sorry. I want to repeat this is what the district attorney says. the issue isn't how the child died, when the child died. It's the fact that baby was put in a toilet large enough to clog up the toilet, left in the toilet, and she went on with her day. So, family, please focus on what is important with the key objective here. The key objective is identifying that we as a people are purposely being harmed. She didn't put the baby in the toilet, plunge it, like with malice or to harm the fetus. She had the baby. She probably tried to get the baby out and it was stuck. So she probably tried to plunge to get. Imagine you done had this baby. It's a fetus. It's 21 weeks. What it looks like. Can you guys imagine? Y'all know I'm melodramatic. If my baby was in the toilet, I couldn't go to the toilet. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I have a tortoise. And I've been in this horrible marriage for many years. So I had lots of anxiety in this abusive marriage. And this was when I was going through some stuff with this guy. And I have a tortoise. And the tortoise, if a tortoise turns over, it can die. And it was during a time where he was being nasty. I had different, times when he would be aggressive. And in my marriage, it was times that I really went through some mental anguish. And so my tortoise was turned upside down in the backyard. When I saw him back there, I didn't know how long he had been like that. They can die that way. I had fear, and this may not be natural, normal for everyone. I'm saying to you that I was in this abusive marriage, and it was during a time when I was on high alert because this man was being aggressive to me. And I remember seeing the tortoise out there, and I ran back inside. I was scared to get the tortoise. I forgot what happened. I think I had someone, maybe, I don't even remember. I think I maybe had one of my family members go get the tortoise. The tortoise was fine. My turtle's right in here, actually, under the bed. His name is Tortilla. And what I'm saying to you is, when you're under a degree of stress, you can have fear and not want to be confronted or face things that are hurtful or scary. So can you guys understand, this woman was walking around knowing her baby was dead inside her. The baby came out. She tried to get the baby out of the toilet. Can you imagine? You guys, I'm just being honest. Maybe I'm a little more squeamish than the average person. But if my baby was in the toilet, I was married, I would have been like, honey, come get, I would be freaking out. She tried to plunge the baby to get the baby out of the toilet. And she couldn't. So she goes to the hospital. And what happens is the nurse calls the police on her. So we have the district attorney, the judge, and the nurse. When I am trying to establish that we live in a country where anti-blackness is woven in the fabric of our country. And dear non-black people, I know all non-black people don't feel this way. If you follow my channel, if you stay here, I'm not going to go into the stories now, but I've been amongst people and that are really very mindful of black people, who don't want to offend, who don't want to be viewed as this nasty, barbaric, inhumane person who wants to harm a group because the color of their skin, because we have melanin, because we originate in possibly warmer climates. You know, I'm not going to get into the science of it, but we're black people. And because we're black people, there are some, I don't know what to call these people. Because what I don't understand is how any human being would want to put anyone under such pressure, such stress. In our community, the judges are held to a higher standard. In our community, the district attorney is held to a higher standard. He has a duty to ensure justice. A nurse at a hospital, her duty, her priority is well-being. But she purposely calls the police on this girl? Like, what is that? What is that? Let me see if I have any more notes. So again, she was 21 weeks pregnant. In Ohio, abortion is legal until fetal viability, which is around 22 and 24 weeks. So what it's saying is, in Ohio, the baby could have been aborted if it wasn't a viable baby, and they define viability is 22 to 24 weeks. This woman was 21 weeks. So, family, I really hope that you appreciate being here with me. I really hope that you are interested in following me on my journey. I know that I'm not consistent as I should be, but as I've been promising from day one, I'm going to do my best. I'm doing the best that I can. I was in a space on Twitter probably over a month ago about this woman. And the bottom line is, we are being harmed, and it's purposeful. And family, we can't just sit and say these things are happening to us. This attorney, Edward Bloom, is taking efforts, making efforts. He was the one that got the Roe versus Wade overturned. He challenged affirmative action. I'm not mad about affirmative action because, long as you give me equal opportunity, I can get this done. Even knowing that as a group, we're under more stress and more pressure, so we're not equal. We're not on an even playing field. I don't have a big complexity or what's the word I'm looking for? I forget words, y'all. Just go with it. I get so mad when it's in my head. I just can't say it. I hope I sound a little bit intelligent. Oh, maybe not so much. So, what I'm saying is that we need to take efforts. I'm still in the early stages. I've been trying to do this for some time now, a couple of years now. But what I ask is that you share my story as being a victim or survivor of anti-Black hate crimes by the state of California. In the coming weeks, you're going to learn more about that. Share the story of or the series Reunite Sandy Speaks. Again, Reunite Sandy Speaks is documenting the inequalities against Black people in an effort to have an update to the 14th Amendment. Again, it's my goal to get an update because we need additional legislation. And one of the biggest harms to us is emotional. Because I want to sneeze. I'm trying to make sure I'm so sorry. I want to make sure I said everything that I wanted to say. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up. I should do a follow-up. I'm going to have to go through all my videos and take notes on things I need to follow up on. You know what? I think I'm going to do a second video. I need to do a video about the young lady who called the police for domestic violence and she was shot and killed. What I'm mulling over is when I do that video, do I include the video of her being shot? in the video because YouTube will ding you for certain actions. So I'm going to look and see if that video is online. I don't think it is. So you know what, guys? Maybe I'll just put a link to the video from Instagram because the video's on Instagram. I don't want to get dinged. They dinged me for showing a white male who the officer was trying to make him put out a gun, and he shot the officer and killed him. And I did a compare and contrast video of what they do to black people when they feel threatened, how they just shoot, like they shot this woman. They shot this woman. Look at me rambling, you guys. I'm rambling. So before I finish rambling, let me wrap this up. So I'm going to follow up with Brittany Watts. To summarize it, that Brittany Watts is being prosecuted for what I feel is wrongfully. If anything, she has claims against the hospital for not giving her adequate health care, knowing that she had an unviable pregnancy, that she had a deceased fetus in her uterus, and they let her go home with it. To me, was negligent. And then you know what, you guys, when I'm sitting here, because it's in the middle of the night, you guys. It's like, what time is it? It's like 1 o'clock in the morning or something. And I really should be sleeping. I want to talk about the young lady who was murdered by the same cop that killed Michael Thomas. Yeah, you know what, guys? I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it tonight. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So this is, again, it's about Brittany Watts. And what I want is I want engagement. If you see this video, please leave a comment. I am needing a team to help me in my endeavors. So I always fear that I'm not communicating effectively and you don't get the gist of what I'm saying. The gist of what I'm saying is that we're not equal in this country. That we need to start taking collective action to, how should I say this? We need to take corrective action in highlighting to this country that black people aren't free or unequal in this country. That we're not free and we're not equal in this country. And until we as a group do something collectively, it's going to continue. Yeah, you guys. So I'm gonna it's several I told myself I'm gonna stop saying I was listening to myself and I'm like it sounds so crazy, it sounds so ignorant, like a child, right? Yeah. That's because my brain is delayed. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, okay? But I'm not gonna say If you're watching this video, if you watch other videos, please subscribe. Please comment. Please let me know that you're interested in getting involved with Reunite Sandy Speaks and us documenting the inequalities in this country. I'm building a black party. We are the people. The black party. I want you all to be a part of the black party as I put my goals and objectives together. And I'm going to start doing some fundraising. It's probably going to be maybe 4 to 6 months, maybe like 4 months before I start doing a fundraising for the Black Party. I've got some legal issues on my own that I'm raising money for. And those legal issues are, I think, very important because my personal situation with the state of California, once I pursue them, it's going to be It's going to give me the opportunity, us as a people, to set precedents in this country. Now y'all want to talk shit about Ben Crump. Because y'all know I be on my tangent. So I'm going to wrap this up, family. I'm going to come back. Look for part 2. If you know anything about Brittany Watts, if you want to participate or have any comments, please leave a comment. And let me say this to you. It's so many different issues that we're dealing with. I'm just overwhelmed and I'm not really clear how to address things. Like I said, I was in a room. Her name is Miss Giselle, and she's on Twitter. And she's really an outgoing community and just justice social activist or justice social justice activist. She's really very smart and she really addresses like important things that are happening to us as a people. And she was the one that did a room on this over a month ago, probably 6 weeks ago, and I'm just getting the opportunity to do the video. But in the room, one of the ladies was like, yeah, this same thing happened to a white woman, that she had a baby, that her baby died inside her, that she had the baby in the toilet, and she wasn't charged. So I asked this person on Twitter, hey, can you give me an update or give me some personal, specific information about what you mentioned in the room, that it also happened to a non-black person, I think it was a white woman, so we can do a compare and contrast? The woman didn't answer me. She didn't respond. She saw my tweet, but she didn't respond. Family, we have to start working together. We have to start working together, and we have to take personal shit out of the situation, out of the formula. We have to do this together. And, you know, as individuals, we are individuals, we think differently. Conflict is expected. But in this situation, that we're in dire straits, that things are not getting better, they're getting worse, that we have a civil duty to ensure that we work towards liberation collectively, respectfully to one another. If something arises that causes conflict in our goals and objective, we have to consciously make an effort to minimize conflict. So if we're doing this together and something arises what causes a conflict between me and you or whoever, we have to say, you know what? Our goals and our objectives are more important than I'm having conflict with this person. It's time that we start acting and behaving intelligently in a effective manner. It's not okay that we live like this. And no one's going to save us, family, but you and I. And we can do it. Again, I'm having some struggles. And then my mind immediately, I get excited. Like, how am I going to deal with this with all this anxiety? And I tell myself, just relax. Let it pass through me. Lean in when it hurts. Say, yeah, it hurts. Lean in. That it's going to pass. As long as I keep on going. Keep on going. That I'm going to face these things. I'm going to deal with them effectively and efficiently. And we're going to finally get the laws that we deserve and we need to live a harmonious life. Family, I love you and you know that. Please, y'all, come fuck with me. Please subscribe. Tell people about my videos. Y'all, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I'm really subconscious about these videos. I was like, girl, you just be fucking rambling. Ain't nobody gonna listen to that stuff. But then I know it's people like me out in the world that's tired, that's willing to be a team player. It's my girl Reba. She a Cancer. She always got my back. sometimes, y'all, I've been a little on edge. I've been losing my shit. she back telling me a DM like, relax, chill. Because I'm losing my shit. Because I'm like, bro, listen, we'll talk about the reptilian brain. I got a video about the reptilian brain. I'll post it below because I'm not going to go into it. Let me see how long I've been sitting here talking to y'all. I've been rambling. I have not been sitting here rambling for 38 fucking minutes. I have been. Listen, I love you, family. I'm the 20th. This is Reunite Sandy Speaks. Y'all come fuck with me.
They killing us for walking, killing us for jogging, kill us in our homes and fabricating and hiding. Where we had Sandra Bland's and Trayvon Martins. If when you kill us, your family was a target. If your children was orphans, will you have compassion the next time you approach us? Yeah, we fed up, this is built up. Your city up in smoke, homeboy, we had enough. And I ain't Tyson, riots of violence heighten the climate. I'm saying you smack me, I'm punching you in your iris. Retaliation is prescribed in both Bible and Quran. In the matters of the slang, see an eye for an eye, especially if the Justice Department do not comply.